Okay, here's where we're going, guys. You're going to have to come up with that function today. I'm not going to give it to you. You got to come up with the inequalities. I'm not going to give it to you. Then, once you find the shaded region, find me the corners. Where's the max occur? All right, so that's the new stuff today. From these word problems, can you write the objective function? And then can you write all the constraints, graph them, shade them, corners, max and min? All right. This is called, if you want to impress anybody, later today, it's a pre-calculus concept called linear programming. And honest, I don't know if they talk about it in economics anymore, but this is what companies do. You know, we can only produce this amount of items a day. How much, I want to pay $5 for this item, charge $7 for this one. How much do I have to make a maximum profit? All right, it's called linear programming if you want to impress anybody later. All right, here's your first one. Tutoring, $10 an hour. Teacher's aid, $7 an hour. We're going to let X be tutoring hours, Y be teacher's aid hours, write an objective function. So now you're going to write your Z function now, the objective function, which I am not going to provide for you. We're going to make it. And usually what that objective function is the cost associated with it. How much do I get back? All right, how much do I earn? All right, well, if you're tutoring, how much do you earn? $10 an hour. So $10 for every X hours I tutor. And what about being a teacher's aide? $7 for every Y hours. $7 for every Y hours I'm a teacher's aide. All right, so there's the objective function we're going to plug our corners into in a minute. That's always associated with the price I'm charging. 3 constraints, 3 inequalities you got to help me set up now. All right, 3 inequalities you're going to help me set up. We can't work more than 20 hours. Can't work more than 20 hours. I got tutoring hours and I have teacher aid hours. Can't be more than 20. Want to help me set that one up first? Out of those 2, hours can't be more than 20. That's what I was thinking. I don't really want to go to the numbers because it's going to screw up my video here. Meg? There you go. X plus Y, no more than 20 hours. Okay, what's the second one? Tutoring's got to spend at least 3 hours a week tutoring. So your tutoring hours have to be at least 3 hours. So only one variable. What's my tutoring hours variable? X. And you got to tutor at least 3 hours. Greater than or equal to 3. And the third requirement, you can't spend no more than 8 hours tutoring. Can't spend more than 8 hours tutoring a week. So, yeah, X has to be no more than 8, less than or equal to 8. So there are the 3 constraints or the 3 inequalities. Now I'm going to ask you to graph them like we did yesterday. Keep everything in the first quadrant because all our answers are going to be positive, not negative. Ooh, hold on. A couple things here before I let you go on your own with the people you're going to work with or by yourself. X, that's what type of line? X, vertical line. Before you graph them, though, remember this is a 15 by 15 grid. You might want to make sure if you graph these using x-intercepts, that if it goes above 15, you need to adjust the scale. All right, so that's what I would find out first. Before you graph anything, determine if you graph this way, determine all your intercepts. Hold on, before you go. Whatever you go on the x-axis, you have to go the same interval on the y. You can't go like a 2 and a 1 here. It would be the same interval I would appreciate on the x and then the y. All right, so you and your group, your partner, your solo, graph those 3 for me. And then figure out where do you think they're going to enter, the shaded region will be. Because I can tell you on this one, you're going by ones isn't going to cut it. Or threes, whatever you prefer. Talk it over with people if you want to talk with anybody around you. We're getting better at graphing these lines. Nice job, everybody. We're getting better. You have all three lines graphed. Now start saying to yourself, should I be shading? And where will all of them intersect? Remember, label your lines, at least the 2 out of the 3 of them, label them. Find your shaded region now. Good. Find your shaded region. Once you've graphed, find it. How do we get that one? Because if you go here, that was what? X is greater than 3, right? So it's the 0 wouldn't fit in there. After it, I like it. Figure out where we're shading now that we got the correct lines. Figure out where we're shading. Got the shaded region there. We're all good. Got to move on here. There's my shaded region. You should be able to pick 4 points. Now, I think 2 of them should be pretty easy for you. The 2 at the bottom here, which were what, 3-0 and 8-0? Everyone agreeing with those points? All right, now the other 2 might be tricky for you. I definitely know, let's take this point right here. That point definitely has to have an x coordinate of 3 with it. What do we think of the y coordinate? Okay, I got a 17 and I got an 18. It has an x coordinate of 3, and you know it's got to add to 20. 17, 18, 17, right? Keep that in mind when you wrote your inequality. It's got to be 20. And then what about the next one here? Well, it's 8 something. Got to be 12 because it's got to go up to 20. So 8, 12. Now take those 4 points. Go back to the objective function we made together at the beginning. Plug in your x and y. And let's see what they give us for z.
Is it 812? I got 816. 1. It's going down by 2s. Like half is 1.
8, 6. So you should be going down 1 over 1, right?
Yeah. But my lines are going by 2, so it's only down half and a half for each one.
Okay, so it should be 19, right?
Yeah.
And then 18.
Yeah.
So every other one should be filled in, right?
Yeah. Then I got 16 when it went to 8.
Yeah, but you're going by 2s down here too.
Yeah. I'm going by 2s at both.
But when you go over 1, you're really going over 2, though. So really, this is what I'm saying, Alex. You should be literally right in the middle of the box.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going down 1 over 2 because your x's are going by 2. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it really should be down 1
so going down
over a half.
And then over. Or I was going down 1 but over 2.
Correct. Because your x's are going by 2. Okay, z values. What'd you guys get at 30? 30, 80, 80, 317, 149, and 812. 164. So your max amount of money you could make would have been 164. So let's fill in the blanks. So the maximum amount the student can earn the week is 164. And how do you earn that 164? By tutoring how many? By tutoring 8 hours and being a teacher paid for 12 hours a week. That's how we're going to work these now. Okay, you can only make $164 total with all those restrictions. Questions? Yeah, hey, that was pretty neat, huh? Because they just literally bullet pointed out all the restrictions. Now let's just throw it all into one word problem. Can you identify where I would get the objective function from and the restriction? First thing I always go to is the end because I want to make sure I know what my x and y variables are. So find the combination. I'm going right to the last sentence, everybody. Find a combination of mowing lawns and pruning shrubs that will maximize the income. So it looks like I need x to be, I'll just go right in order, number of lawns. And I'll go y equals number of shrubs pruned. Anybody have experience pruning shrubs? What is that when they get the big hedge clippers? I don't even know. Is that what pruning shrubs is? I have no idea. Is that what it is? When you take the big, or they make the designs out of them? Okay, never mind. Okay, good talk, everybody. All right, here you go. Let's see. Company, I'm only going to take 1 hour for the mowing and 3 hours for pruning. Whew. Each crew, no 2 prunes per day. That looks like a restriction. What am I charging on average here? $40 for lawn and $120 for the shrub. That'll give me my objective function, what I'm charging. All right, how worth of it. So what's Z going to be equal to? If we keep with the same variables, 40 X plus 120Y. Restrictions. It's going to be the tough part for us. I know it. I know it. What restrictions do we have? Start with any of them. Okay, only can work 9 hours a day. Now, I know most of you would like to put X plus Y less than or equal to 9. Don't write this down. Just let me write it down. You probably want to do that. But how long does it take to mow lawn? Not what you think, according to the problem. How long does it take to mow a lawn? 1 hour. But how many hours to prune a shrub? See why I can't have X plus Y? They take different amount of hours to do. And I cannot work more than 9 hours. Only do 2 prune jobs a day. Yep. How can I write that then? Only 2 prune jobs a day. I hate saying that term. All right. Shrubs a day. At most 2. So how can I write that? Brooke? Y, the number of shrubs, only can be 2 or less. Yep. It looks like we've taken care of all the restrictions. 1 hour for mowing and 3 hours for pruning. Got it. No more than 9 hours, and I can only do 2 shrubs a day. Yep. More than 2 shrubs a day. All right, that's it. You're used to 3, 4, 5 to graph, but that's it right there. So go ahead. Let's see you graph those 2 inequalities. Make sure you label at least one of your lines. And if you guys don't like the whole finding the intercept, you can always solve for y and do slope and y. If you'd rather graph a line that way, that's fine if you prefer not to do the intercepts. You can always get it into y equals form, graph the y-intercept, then use the slope. Okay, find your shaded region once you have both lines graphed. If you think you have the shaded region, can you find the vertices, the corners? You guys getting the intercepts mixed up? You okay on why it's 3 on the Y, 9 on the X? What do you got, Emma?
I just don't know what this point would be.
Okay, well, it's let's see. Lands on a definite point. Oh, you went by 2s, okay. So it's halfway.
So it's just halfway?
Yeah, I'm never going to give you like a 0.75 or a,
So it's
if it looks halfway.
2.5?
No, well, you're going by 2s though,
Oh,
right?
so
Aren't you or
it's-
no?
Yeah.
Are you going by 2s or no?
one, so
Oh, you're
that's-
going by 1s? Okay, so if you're going by 1s, that should have landed on a definite. So right here.
Oh, it's supposed to be right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So it's
Here you
2
go.
2.
2. Where is your? So you 9 went down 1 over 3. Down 1 over 3.
Oh, I went down 3 over 1.
Right at 9. And then down 3. Oh, hold on. No, it should. Oh, here's why. You forgot to divide the 9 by 3.
Oh, okay.
So you really should have started at
3.
3 and went down 1 over 3.
Okay.
And that'll give you where it should intersect. Good. You guys are doing a nice job finding your shaded regions. Good. Quick question. I could easily identify 3 of the points. 0, 0, 0, 2. Excuse me, not 0, 3. 0, 2. I have 9, 0, right? And how about that extra point here? Point. Should be 3, 2. Make sure we check that. 3, 2. Over 3, up 2. Go back to your objective function. Here we go. This will be 0. Anybody find 0, 2? 240. 9, 0. 360. And 3, 2. 360 again. All right, well, that's actually answered the question here. So how many, there's actually 2 combinations of lawns and shrubs that give me a maximum amount of money. All right, and 1 combination of lawns and shrubs that I could take care of that'll earn a amount of money. Okay, so 9 lawns. Got to write a concluding statement here. 9 lawns and 0 shrubs. If you didn't feel like doing that, you could also do 3 lawns and 2 shrubs. And does it ask for the maximum amount of money? So it just says find a combination of mowing lawns and pruning shrubs that will maximize the income. There you go. You can do either one, whatever you prefer. I'd probably go the 9 myself. Okay. Right. How long you been growing that hair for? Speaking of. Is there a plan or just let it go strong? Okay. What was it like before? When now you're basically rebelling. That's what you're doing. You're rebelling. Okay. All right. All right, that's fine. You're growing that crust too, the same length, freshman year. Okay. All right. Don't worry about it. That's why I'm in the math class and the English class. All right. Everybody good? Let me know about that. I probably did that third period too, and they're probably just tooling on me right now wherever they are. Yeah, I'll give you 2 sherbs. Here you go. Here's your 2 sherbs. Last one here. Thank God. All right. Assuming you answer all the questions, how many of each type of problem maximizes your score? All right. So there should be 2 types of problems here. What are my identify the 2 types of problems so I can set up my X and Y? What are my 2 types of problems? Good. Computation. Yep. So number of computation problems and word problems. Yep. So how many computation problems, how many word problems do I need to answer to maximize my score? Okay, now I look for my objective function. I know it's not money here now, but it's worth. So how much for a computational problem? 6 points, so 6x. And for a word problem, 10, so plus 10y. There's my objective, how much each is worth. I think you guys will do well on this one. What are my restrictions? I can only do a computational problem in 2 minutes and a word problem in 4, but how many total minutes do I have to answer here? 40. So what's one inequality I'm going to have to graph? 2x plus 4 minutes for the word problems, and I only have what? 40, so that's got to take me less than or equal to 40 minutes. And there is another restriction there. I can only answer 12 problems, no more than 12. So second inequality, no more than 12. X plus y, no more, would tell me less than or equal to 12. Okay, go ahead. Remember, this is only a 15 by 15 graph, so if you need more than 15 spaces, got to go by something else. So let's see you graph these. Depending on how you graph these, some of you may go by 1, some of you may go other than 1. Okay, depending on. If you do the intercept way, you're going to need something bigger than 15. If you do y, going by 1 should be fine. Don't be my graph. I went by ones and solved them both for y equals. If you did x-intercepts, one of your x-intercepts should have been 20. So you would have gone by twos. That's why my graph doesn't hit the x-axis, because I went by ones and the x-intercept is 20 for this one. All right, but if you went by twos and did the x-intercepts, then we should still have the same shaded region going on. Regardless of x and y axis. And it looks like both of them towards 0, 0. Three of the points are, again, I'm just going to need some help with that fourth one. You guys have that other point for me? 4-8, yep. Four eight. So z ended up being 0 for that one. Whew, 12. 12, 0. Z equals 72. How do you get that out?
You flip them around.
We'll try to. Don't. Great minds think alike. Look at that. All right. 0, 10, 100. And what about 4 8? 104. Answer the question, though. Here we go. Last part. What's going to matter as your score? 4 computation problems. And how many word problems? 8. Everyone is just judging right now. I can tell. I don't even have to look at you. Sure, I spell everything right. Yes, I abbreviated computation, so I didn't spell it. How many total points could you get then? If I answer 4 computation and 8 word problems? 104 points. So 104 points total. Go home, dust that snow off some of your sherbs, and you'll be fine.